All right, we're gonna check out this movie called My Name is Lohan. We're gonna check this. So we started with somebody just cleaning up blood off the street. That's a hell of a way to start, right? So you got this one guy, he's got a group of guys on his plane, right? You know what I'm saying? So apparently these group of people were coming from North Korea to go to Brussels. They get through customs and now they're all on their own. One of these dudes just happened to be named Lohan. So Lohan's about to get a cab, he's gonna spend $40 on the cab, whatever like that. Takes him to this destination, but by the time he gives them money, it's like blood money or whatever like that. The guy's like, nah, I'm good, just go ahead and do your thing. Apparently a cab driver didn't want that type of karma. So he's going to a spot so he can get his citizenship, right? Now he goes through the first interview, everything is fine, but here's the thing. He's gotta wait 2 whole months to be a citizen because he's gotta get a second interview. So what's he doing till then? He's pretty much homeless. He's like digging through trash cans to get food, sleeping in bathrooms. He goes near this fire that's already started, but it's like these group of guys end up beating the shit out of him. I'm like, they toss his shoe in the water, he's trying to get the shoe, and then he falls in the water. From the drive, he basically goes into this laundromat and he ends up sleeping by one of the working dryers or whatever. Alright, so this is where it turns crazy. This chick named Marie catches him sleeping or whatever like that, ends up stealing his wallet. Now before this, he's seen homeless people like getting bottles or whatever like that and transferring them over to like convenience stores, and basically the more bottles you collect, the more money they can transfer for it. But the thing is, in his wallet, he does have a lot of money in there, right? So you're thinking to yourself, why is he not using that money? Well, he gets up, he was able to file a report because there were cameras in the daggone laundromat. And he confronts the chick Marie, and then she's like, yeah, I spent that money. And you're like, he's like pissed the fuck off, right? Turns out that was the last bit of money his mom gave him. Now, this is where it's fucked up. We get this flashback to him and his mom in North Korea. Now, the thing is, his mom has been hiding him out because of the situation where he had to beat up this boss or whatever like that, but he was trying to save somebody else's life. Now, because of that, police want this nigga, and mom's been hiding him out. So she's going to work, she's doing like double time and whatnot. Now she's doing work, the police end up popping over there, you know, doing security checks and whatnot. But the thing is, she denies even having a son, right? But the thing is, she goes to the back, and then Lohan ends up popping up out the back, you know what I'm saying, getting her supplies and stuff. The thing is, the police saw him out the back, and we're just like, oh shit. So both of them are running from the popo. But as they're escaping, his mom gets hit by a fucking truck. She's done deal daddy shit. His uncle pops up, and he's just like, yo, I'm gonna get you out the country, yo. He's like, bottom line, you gotta get the fuck out of here now. So he's gotta take off running. But this is how his uncle gets him out the country. Oh boy. He ended up having to sell his mom's corpse to a fucking hospital. The money he had in his wallet was the money from that. That's why the money was so damn bloody. And this chick Marie stole that shit. So here's the thing, Marie's gonna convince Lohan, like, look, just to convince him I only stole like $30 or whatever like that, because if it's more than $500, I'm gonna go to jail. He says, bottom line, if I go to jail, you ain't gonna be able to get your money back, right? So he goes along with the $30 shit, and now she's on a mission to get his wallet back. So she's got to go into this like pool spot or whatever like that, but she tells him to fall back for a minute. She got to talk to this dude by the name of Gerald. We find out Gerald runs like gambling rings and all that, and it turns out Marie actually owes this nigga money. Now he actually has the wallet intact. She never really spent any of the money or whatever like that. The thing is, he has her doing like target shooting tournaments or whatever like that, and if she beats her opponent or whatever like that, he'll give the wallet back. But yeah, he basically uses her to keep his business going. And because she owes a debt, she got to comply with that shit. Lohan comes busting in trying to get his wallet back. They're like, yeah, get that shit out of here. Come on, cut it out. Because Gerard got niggas. Gerard, we gonna call him Gerard, fuck it. So Marie takes Lohan back to her spot, gives him some food, some new clothes. And because he doesn't have like a license or anything like that, she gets him some employment on this under the table spot. Basically, I'm working at a warehouse, you know what I'm saying? Now, I forgot to mention, when they left out of the police station, they ended up seeing Marie's father. They don't really have a good relationship. I'll explain that later. You know what? I'll explain it now. Bottom line is, we found out her mom passed away, but here's the thing. She blames her dad for it because her mom had some type of disease, and her dad never took her to the hospital because she knew she was dying from him anyway, so she was like, what the fuck is the point? So she basically blames her dad for her mom's death. Meanwhile, Lohan's working with this chick, we just gonna call her Comrade, because that's what she calls him all the time. Comrade's helping him out around the warehouse and stuff like that, and he ended up getting a spot to stay at. And Comrade actually lives 2 doors down. So it turns out she's actually from China. Back at home, she's got like 3 kids or whatever like that. One of them's bald head, but they're going through like some issues and stuff like that. But she really wants to return home, so she wants to make as much money as she can here before she gets sent back to China. But she's trying to stay here for as long as she can. And of course, she'd be stealing meat from the factory or whatever like that, getting like free shit, you know what I'm saying? Got to make it happen. Now, thinking about Marie, now she's got to do this like target shooting stuff, right? Now, she hasn't done this in a while, so her arms are shaking a little bit, right? Now, the reason why she really doesn't want to do this, other than the fact that she owes this guy money, but the reason she doesn't want to do this is because of the fact that she's got to take shots of heroin in her arm, you know what I'm saying, to keep herself straight so she can do the shit. She wins him a bunch of money and clears her debt. Yeah. But it's to a point she's damn near like psychologically damaged dealing with Gerald and her father situation. She went to see Lohan, finally got him his wallet back, and she was about to dip up, and then Lohan was like, yo, you hungry, whatever like that? So he brings her to the crib so he gets something to eat. And that's pretty much their first little meal together, you know what I'm saying? This is when they start to build some type of relationship other than the fact of wallet stealing and whatnot. Because first it was on business and now it's starting to feel like a little bit like a personal level. So now it's time for the second interview with his citizenship. But here's the problem. He told him about the situation about the mom selling to the hospital, whatever like that. But the thing is, the hospitals don't really encourage none of that. And bottom line is, they're not going to sponsor that. The thing is, even if it's true, they don't have any evidence. So they're going to give him at least 2 or 3 days to try to get some evidence. Otherwise, he's going to get deported back to North Korea. Bottom line is, he goes back to North Korea, he's dead as shit. So you gotta try and find some type of evidence or whatever like that. And he asks his comrade to be in there for the trial or whatever. Comrade's like, yeah, I got you, don't even worry about it. When the trial came up, she disavowed any knowledge of him. I was like, oh shit. So he's basically feeling betrayed, but here's the thing. Comrade had no choice but to do that because it would have basically been putting their jobs and lives in jeopardy. And the thing is, even after all that, she's gonna get deported back to China that same day. She didn't want to go back this early, but bottom line, she'll get to see her kids again. Through all this time, Loh had to get another job. He ends up going to another like dishwasher spot or whatever. Marie's all the way fucked up. She's trying to find Lohan, but it turns out Lohan's not even in that same spot no more. So she's like, fuck, where did he go? Because it got to a point where Marie's father had told Lohan that she can't see her no more or whatever like that. Because both of y'all are too unstable. The Marie's father's having this like 3-year anniversary thing for the death of a wife or whatever. And Lohan actually shows up just to help them out with whatnot, right? Meanwhile, Gerald forced Marie to have another little battle or whatever. But the thing is, this time she fucking lost on purpose. Basically cost him money, but here's the thing. She never wanted to take part in this no more in the first place. She had already paid her debts, but bottom line is, he's trying to keep her for life, you know what I'm saying? That won't ever go nowhere. Because this dude above him was trying to make him more money or whatever. So Marie ends up basically showing up at her father's 3-year anniversary death thing or whatever. Mom all fucked up and shit. She's causing all this ruckus and then gets stopped by Lohan. And then that's when she finally sees him again. She's like, what the fuck? And then she just dips out. So Lohan goes to find Maria, whatever like that, and he goes to the house, and then the house is locked or whatever like that. So he breaks in the house. There's like smoke everywhere and shit, but it's like she had the kettle on or whatever. And she's basically lying on the couch getting fucked up, heroin and all that, and this random ass dude is over there helping her out. Lohan kicks that dude out and then helps out Marie. She's still trying to take the drugs, and Lohan's like, you know what? He takes the he ends up taking all these drugs and putting them in his mouth and shit. And Marie's like, what the fuck? Lohan's all the way fucked up. So Marie's got to go to the next door neighbor, whatever, like that, get this insulin pill, you know what I'm saying, jab it in his leg or whatever like that to make sure he's good. And she basically saved his life. So this is the point where she finally got clean. They living their best life. He ends up giving her the business on several occasions. She loves him. So they had the best couple of days ever or whatever like that, right? Now the thing is, time to his trial again, right? But the thing is, he doesn't really have any evidence. So we're like, what is he going to be able to do? He's got him and his lawyer, and then he's got his girl. Then he ends up getting his letter from Comrade. Comrade tells him about how his daughters are doing just fine and everything like that, but he also gave a newspaper to him, showing an article of his mom and what happened to her and everything like that. That article is basically the evidence he needs to be able to get his citizenship. So they're about to go to the trial. All of a sudden, Gerard ends up calling up Marie. She basically tells us, come with us right now. We're going to blow a hole through your fucking boyfriend's head. So she makes up an excuse and says she'll be right back for the trial. But we know she's going to see Gerald. So now Marie's back at the pool spot with Gerard and the dude above him or whatever like that that's trying to like sponsor some more daggone double the money or whatever, something like that. Now at this point, like she really doesn't want to do it, especially because she's staying clean now. But the thing is, the upper dude wants to take Marie for herself, you know what I'm saying? Take her across this other country, to, like Amsterdam or some shit like that. So Gerard's not having that. All of a sudden, it's a fucking shootout. Gerard ends up done dealing the big nigga. And he's convincing himself, he's like, nah, I'm going to take you to Amsterdam. You know what I'm saying? We got to get out the country. We're like, what? Obviously, she ain't trying to leave the country to do that shit, especially leaving behind Lohan, while he's fighting for his citizenship to stay in the country. But Lohan senses something wrong, and right in the middle of the words, he ends up leaving out of the daggone trial or whatever. He goes straight to the full spot speed of carnage, and we see the epic beef between him and Gerald. They end up whipping his ass and getting up out of there. When they leave, the Russian niggas come through there and they like, yeah, yo, where's that girl Marie? He's like, man, fuck off. So guess what? They end up done dealing Gerard. He's done deal daddy shit. Now, the thing is, they got to get Marie out the country. The thing is, Lohan's not going to be able to leave with her. He says he's going to meet up with her someday or whatever like that. But bottom line is, they got a call to call her dad or whatever. And they get her tickets to leave out the country. We're like, damn. Lohan's got to stay behind while she gets on the plane. A whole year goes by. And Lohan's been saving up his money. He was working in this restaurant. And he got his citizenship. He ends up getting a one-way plane ticket. We're not even sure exactly where he's going, to some island. He gets there, starts walking down this long little rampway, and then you see this hotel, and people just sorting out stuff, right? And out the corner, we see Marie working at this hotel, and they end up linking up together. I'm thinking to myself, how the fuck did he know where Marie was going to be at? I mean, he probably knew the area he was sent to, but still, how you know exactly where she was going to be working at? And after like a year's time, they end up getting back together, and that's the end of the movie. I'm not going to lie, I literally almost cried like 3 times during this movie, yo. This shit is so fucking crazy, yo. My name is Lohan on Netflix. Check that shit out.